fellow World of Tank Blitzers and future Mumrads. I'm Littlefinger, here to share a little more knowledge with you today. This time we are going to be reviewing the Vickers Medium Mark II. This is a medium British Tier 2 tank. You can see it here in the garage. It is quite a big piece of equipment. And it has very weak armor, but it does have a good gun. Let's take a look. Maneuverability, you can see there is very good. Protection, horrible. 280 hit points with the armor across the board there at 8 millimeters. It does come with a choice here of a 3-pounder gun and a 6-pounder gun. The 3-pounder is shown here with a 13 rounds per minute, but a lower AP damage there at 45, and the hit points penetration is 43. So I ran this tank obviously with the Tier 4 6-pounder gun, which gives you an 8 rounds per minute. Average penetration there at 57, and 90 hit points of damage. This tank, I really enjoyed the gun on this, but you have to be careful just because of the lack of armor. It is quite maneuverable, but I'd say you need to stay back, stay under cover, let others spot for you, and just use that gun to your advantage. Let's take a look at the setup on this. Consumables, repair kit, multi-purpose kit, and adrenaline. By now you know that's standard for me. Provisions, I'm running all three here with the standard fuel, add 3% engine power, black tea to add 3% to crew mastery, and protective kit primarily for the reduction in case of fire. Ammunition here, I've got 33 AP rounds, the 25 Pramo rounds, 22 HE shells. And for equipment, I'm running the vents, the enhanced gun lane drive, and medium spall liner, I guess basically to get as much protection as possible on this tank. So let's take a look at how this tank compares to other tanks in the tier. Alright guys, we've only got 2 medium tanks at Tier 2 to compare to each other, so this should be pretty quick. You can see here, as I was describing before, the medium 2 has extremely weak armor, but really at this tier it doesn't matter whether or not you've got weak armor or paper thin armor. The guns are still better than the armor at this tier. So anyway, the gun on this with the penetration values and the average damage there at 90 hit points, it does work out to be higher in DPM than the T2 medium American tank, even with the slower rate of fire. First gameplay review here on Fort Despair. This is a Tier 2 battle, and as usual I will go left. And as we play these lower tiers, what we really should be focusing on is map awareness and playing as a team, because as I've said in some of these other reviews, the armor is not nearly as good as the guns on these tanks. So making sure to use your mini-map and spot up players. You can see here I'm in the back corner and I'm just waiting for my gun to load, aim, and shoot. This guy isn't making any effort to get out of the way, so I go ahead and take him out. And now the light bulb comes on, which means I have been spotted, so it's time for me to find a little bit more hard cover, so that I don't start getting shot myself. Kind of rushed that one there on the medium. Just want to make sure I'm pulling behind this wall just enough so I've got just a little, as little of my tank as possible hanging out to be shot. I was hoping to take this guy out, but I forgot that the rock was there, so missed that shot. And then I don't know how that shot missed, but you know, this is the only tier 1 I think they have, so I'm fairly confident that I can take him out in a couple shots. So I go ahead and push this one, and look at the angle I am showing him here, making it a little bit more difficult for him to penetrate. And now I've got him running, and so I remember that medium was coming over here behind this rock, so I'm gonna push over and try to take his gun out. And I do make a little bit of a mistake here, because I assume that he's going to be solo, but that T-26 pops up. So I take my time and make sure I get him out of the game. And now it's time for me to find cover while this guy shoots me like 3 times there. So so now I've got myself back behind this rock. This is the map awareness part. I could have just been focused on that one guy, but I looked back to the base and had that T7 car come up into my view. A little bit careless there with repositioning my tank, and gave him a little bit of a shot. Rushed that because I felt like I had too much exposed in front of the rocks. So now my team is taking care of the other 2 players there at the flag, and my goal here with just 12 hit points is to stay alive as long as possible. He's disappeared because I don't have a line of sight on him, so I'm going to try to either proximity spot him based upon our closeness, or get him in my line of sight. And luckily there, I was expecting him to go around the rock and come from behind on me, but he had stopped, and luckily he was pointed in the other direction. So now my goal here is just to stay alive as long as possible. My teammates start shooting him, and so I suspect that he's going to turn around. And you can see here, by staying in the game, I get myself an extra kill and 2 or 3 extra shots on that guy. So map awareness, staying alive, all keys to mastering tanks here at the lower tiers. Here's a tier 2, tier 3 battle on Copperfield. As the game starts, I like to make sure that we've got a team that is going the same direction. You don't want to find yourself all alone thinking that the team's going one way and you're not. So rely heavily on your mini-map. These guys are a little bit slow, but they are, most of them anyway, or have followed me up to this ridge line. No one gets spotted, so might as well go ahead and push. And I wanted to slow down this part right here, just because of the fact that if you look over on the far side of the map at the water tower, the pipes and the bushes there, you're going to find a lot of guys sitting over there. So you don't want to sit in this area, or else you are exposed and liable to get hit. So once you cross there, just go all the way and get behind this ridge line here. So now we've got a couple guys that are spotted. I'm going to go ahead and shoot that one, but just because I didn't want to have to deal with my gun depression. He moves back, and now he is behind those bricks, so I'm not as concerned about him. I do make a little bit of a mistake here because that M2 medium was coming at me already, and I should have taken my first shot on him. And you see here how I play this. This guy has a very slow turret, so I want to try to stay on the opposite side of his turret, and just maximize the amount of time that I have to reload my gun. So I do hit the adrenaline, and luckily kind of just outmaneuver him, but I've left myself here in the open. Not a good situation to be in. I'm just trading shots. You don't want to do that. And so I've got him as a one shot, so I go in for the kill, and oh my god, how did I miss that shot? Anyway, so I'm going to back up behind the gravel here and luckily reload in time to get that final kill shot in. Our team has done a great job taking care of everybody else, and just speed it up to the end here because that was pretty much the game. But a little nifty maneuvering around a tank with a slower turret, and I end up with the highest amount of damage on the team. Fort Despair, mostly a tier 2, two tier 3s here with the Cruiser 4 and the PZG. Remember those two tanks, as you will see them later in the game. So anyway, my team has got some fast tanks on it, and they have pushed to the corner, so I'm gonna hold back a little bit. I've got this rock as hard cover beside me and some of these bushes here to help increase my camo. You can see that this guy has stuck himself out of the rock area and is quickly going to pay the price. There he is gone. Those guys on the corner have done a great job in spotting these two tanks. However, now I don't have a shot because of the dead tank there. So I'm going to relocate, try to find a couple more targets. And then you will see here that I do struggle a little bit here with the gun depression. Gonna go for that guy because he's giving me his rear, but only get him on the tracks. And now I am shooting at the PZ2. And keep in mind, if you're shooting heat, you can't shoot through things like tents and so forth, but the AP you can. Alright, so we've taken out 3 tanks already, and this universal carrier has flanked around, so I'm going to get a shot in on him there. I am going to pull forward and get another shot in and just trade shots with him, and he gets taken out. So we're down to 3 tanks remaining on their team, so go ahead and push onto their side of the map. PZ2 has shown himself, and again, like I said, we've got some fast tanks on my team, so he gets the first shot in and I get the kill. And I'm going to speed it up here a little bit. You can see the Panzerjag 3 there. G, he's too fast for me to even chase, and I get hit from the right side, so I know there's a tank over here somewhere, so I'm going to try to sniff him out. I suspect that since that shot came through that valley area here, he's over in here, but he pops up on the radar. And this is quite an interesting situation, because that cruiser has got a strong gun on it. I'm only at 150 hit points. He could probably, if he's got the autoloader, he could probably do that much damage to me with a full magazine. So not sure why he decides to play it this cautiously, but I'm trying to figure out my strategy. And hey, look, this guy is flanked all the way around the map, and he's a one-shot, so hey, thanks. And now I'm going to back up as I reload, and checking my mini-map here, and I'm seeing my fast tanks are starting to close in, so I'm going to play it a little bit safe. I kind of get caught again with that gun depression, and now he's turned to face the other tank, who gets a couple shots in on him, and then I get the kill. So playing safe, staying alive, watching mini-maps, all keys at this tier. And I'm not sure how I finished up on this one. Let's see here. 724 damage, so top damage on the team, but second there in experience. Alright, so the last game I want to show you is on mines, and you can see here I am tuned up, and we are the only tier 2s in this battle. My partner calls to take the mine hill, which is the best strategy for this map, and you can see him in the T2 light is off and running up the hill, no problem. Cruiser follows him. We are now in great shape to control the hill. So now it's just a matter of finding some targets. You know, one of the downsides to this tank is the gun depression, as you saw there, and here again. I'm just really struggling with it here. And this guy's probably AFK by now, so I'm not sure why I'm too worried about him. As you can see here, I'm paying the price. I want to go ahead and try and get him out of the game anyway, because he does have one of the better guns. And now I can see that I guess that was a BT2 that was shooting me before, and luckily that he did not get me and finish me off. So I've cleared up the tanks that have crested the hill, and I'm going to leave it up to my teammates there that are in the mine area to do the rest of the work. I'm down to 1 hit point here, so I am just going to stay behind this rock and keep myself in the game for as long as possible, as you've seen in some of these other replays. By doing so, I can help to some degree, and certainly find ways to get 2 or 3 more shots in. But we're cruising here. We're up 6-2, so not much point in me going in and getting myself killed. You can see that the team finishes them off quite quickly. And even though both of us were the bottom tier here, you can see when the results come up that we managed to be competitive in the middle of the pack. So don't let being bottom tier fool you into thinking that you can't contribute. So with that, I'm going to wrap up my review of the Vickers Medium Mark II. And like always, guys, stay safe out there. Enjoy the game. Have fun. Get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.